Hello and good morning. I guess it's a new week. I'm using my new big phone. It was a little heavy, so I had to go and grab the selfie stick because it's a lot bigger than the other one. I'm wearing a Mr. Puppy shirt. Mr. Puppy. Some people have asked me in videos in the past, what is Mr. Puppy? Excuse me. As far as I know, Mr. Puppy is a man that wrote a book. He's not Mr. Puppy, but he wrote a book about a puppy. I think it's we used to call him like a cartoonist. Are you still allowed to say cartoonist? I don't know what you're allowed to say. But I think he's a cartoonist, illustrator. And nowadays everything is called anime. And all that. He's an animation specialist. I don't know. But everything has changed a lot now. So he wrote a book and I think he does illustration himself. I don't know if they bring a puppy to schools. But what they do is they use this book as a teaching device to help children that don't read very well, I guess, have difficulty with reading, and maybe some just general people that do read well enough. But when I was a kid, they would bring a dog to the school. I'm sure nowadays, I know they can't have like a class lizard or a class fish or a class, whatever hamster. Someone might, I don't know, not like it or get bit or have a religious feeling about a certain kind of an animal. So they don't allowed to do that. But anyway, that's what he does with that. As far as I know, we got the shirt and we met him at the Pet Expo a couple years ago. No more Pet Expo. Sadly enough, they took away the Pet Expo. So, but this video is to announce something I'm going to do. A lot of people have talked about this with me, that some of the things I talk about are things that when I first started noticing I had this problem, then how I got the problem, what happened, what were some of the reasons, motivations that I started trying to lose weight. And most of that was historic. There is back in the back. It was, I almost lost my leg. I got very sick. I almost died. When I had cellulitis, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Sad stuff, bad stuff. Still morning, still coffee time. But that is true. Most of it is back then, and most of it is about me, what I went through, what I did about it, what I'm continuously doing about it. But it's basically based on those things that happened back then. It's not a current situation. I didn't almost lose my leg yesterday. I almost lost my leg in 2018. I didn't almost die from cellulitis that happened 10 years ago. But the weight loss and the journey is ongoing. So it's always, I can't necessarily say a struggle. It's also always something that's front of mind that I have to deal with. How do I keep my weight down? How do I keep my blood sugar numbers down? How do I keep my blood pressure down? And how do I do all of that? That's currently going on. So I do videos about that that's currently going on. But I don't really talk about no one was on that journey with me at the time that it happened. But so what I'm going to do is a little something different now. We're going to do a 3-part episodic, a 3-part mini series, let's say, on something that is currently happening. We've had a lot of weather out here. Now this is going to sound like a lot of excuses. Now I'm going to go through a list of what happened. These are not excuses. These are reasons or events that occurred. But end of story, 100%, the fault is mine. Okay. My blood sugar numbers have gone up and my weight has gone up. Both those things. So usually they go kind of hand in hand. But like I always say, I'm not really overly concerned about my weight. I'm not that concerned. I weigh myself on the 1st of the month and the 15th of the month. Today is the 2nd day of the month. But for the last 3 months, probably the last 3 months, we did have the hurricane out here. It wasn't much of a hurricane, I guess, when you compare it to things like Katrina and some of the other horrible hurricanes that happened in Hawaii, things in Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, New Orleans, Louisiana, that kind of stuff. So it wasn't that kind of a hurricane, but we did get some rain and some wind. We also out here had a tornado in Montebello, California. That's very rare. We don't get tornadoes or hurricanes So that's a reason, one of the reasons why this happened. Another reason was I was working on a film, and instead of eating 3 meals a day, I would have a midnight meal, a fourth meal. And these were long days. I was stuck, not stuck there. I was lucky enough to get to work, so I don't want to sound ungrateful. I wasn't stuck there. I was there and making money and having fun and enjoying myself, and not having as much control over what I was doing. I kind of lost the control. I was, is your blood sugar in control? Is your diabetes? You see the lady dancing around about, is it Jardiance? I have type 2 diabetes, but it's under control or something like that. And I made a video about that. And if you're that heavy, like I said before, if you're that heavy, if your type 2 diabetes is under control, that would be amazing. It's probably not true. But your other numbers wouldn't be. So if she's that heavy, that maybe she got her blood sugar under control by taking that Jardiance pill. But the problem is she also has high blood pressure. She has high cholesterol. She has way too much weight. She's going to have heart issues, and if she doesn't already, she's at a higher risk for stroke. So I'm not judging her. I'm just saying that's the fact. That's where I am too. I'm not saying she's like that, but I'm not. I'm not that guy. I don't see a fat person walk by and go, that person's really fat. Maybe I would say that in my mind, and I would not look at myself in the mirror and say, so glad I'm skinny. Well, I'm not skinny, and they are fat. So a lot of times we try to sugarcoat things and make things like, well, you know, that person's too fat. So am I. So what was going on with me is I have put on this weight. And I put on some numbers on my blood sugar. Now, I always say my most important numbers are my labs. How is my blood sugar? How high is my cholesterol? How high is my cholesterol? What's my blood pressure at? Whatever those numbers are, all those numbers. But surprisingly, I went to the doctor and had lab work done last week. I had to get the lab work done. And amazingly enough, amazing. This is totally amazing. The only numbers that were bad, they weren't all great. They weren't the best numbers they've ever seen, but they were all within the range. They'll say this number should be less than 150, and mine would be 105. This number should be greater than 30, and mine would be 40. So maybe they're not the best. Maybe if it says it should be greater than 30, it should be 100. Maybe if it should be less than 140 or whatever, it should be 80. You know, so I am lower than that number, but I'm not much lower. But all my numbers were good. One number I had to go back and look at my lab work. That's very important. Always look at your lab work. No, I'm not saying always for you. I always try to look at my lab work and discuss with my doctor. She said all of my numbers are good except for my blood sugar had gone up. My A1C has gone up. And my weight is up. I didn't weigh. I did one of those telemedical things. I don't really like those. Next one I'm going to do is in person. But I told her my weight has gone up. And obviously my labs were bad. That one number, my A1C has gone up. But my triglycerides were good. I used to have over 5,000 triglycerides. Now it's less than 150, which is the standard. I just say like a pig. I mean, well, I should say pig. Well, should I say pig? Yeah, pig. Pigs, they like to eat a lot. I ate like a person that ate too much, and I ate a lot of the bad stuff. I'd go, drive-thrus and candy and all that. I don't know what draws triglycerides up. I think it's, cholesterol, so it's going to be, a lot of like red meats and that kind of stuff. But I did not do good with my triglycerides. They said it was the highest they'd ever seen. They'd retest me, and I said, are you retesting me because my triglycerides were so high? Yes. I go, I think that's how high they are. So it was like a 5,000. I got it down to 1,000. They said, you got to get this down under whatever. And to get the number rates, I got it down to 500. But I'd get 500 triglycerides. Other people would probably be standing on a ledge of a skyscraper, going to jump because their numbers were so high. I was like, yeah, jump for joy, 500, woo! But now I am within the range. Amazingly, I got that down. And I did that with hard work. I did that with walking. I pat myself on the back. That's a lot of walking, a lot of good diet, and all this stuff. I got my triglycerides down. I can't eat like that anymore. I'm not 16. I'm an old dude. I'm 61. So 6'16", and I'm 6'1". So you got to reverse that number, But yeah, so I saw that number was bad. I have a bad number now. I had good numbers. I was still a little bit too heavy. My numbers were a little bit high, but they were still considered good. And I have to do something about it. So now I did drop my blood sugar down, my daily blood sugar counts. I dropped it down about 70 points. And I've done that within 4 days. that doesn't matter. It's the A1C that really matters, because that's a cumulative of how much I've done. So the way you can figure out your A1C is you take your daily and you multiply it. You take like 5 days, you multiply it, you divide by 5. You add them all up, those numbers up, and then you divide by 5. That gives you your average A1C. Then there's a calculator that's on the Red Cross has one, the American Heart Association. You can type in your blood sugar and hit calculate, and it'll tell you how much your A1C is. So my A1C was high, and I'm going into specific numbers because I want to help you while helping me. So I'm not getting into the numbers. I'm going to tell you this. This is the thing that happened. My weight is up. My A1C is up. So I'm going to do a 3-part series. This is not the first part. The first part, this is just telling you guys kind of what happened. This is what happened. Then I'll kind of, the next video will be what I'm going to do about it, basically. And then one will be based on diet, one will be based on exercise. That's the only thing I really can do is I'm not going to change my medication. The doctor was going to change my medication because it was high. She wasn't going to do it. I have to do it. She invited me to up my medications, maybe even put me on a new medication or a medication I used in the past. Well, I don't want to do more medication. I want to do less. I don't want to do a larger quantity of what I'm on, and I don't want to introduce anything new. So this is a series. This is a 3-part series. This is just the intro. This is not part 1. This is just the introduction, the announcement of what's happening. And I'm going to take you on that journey with me. I'm going to show you some of the walking things. I'm basically just going to talk about it, but going over what I'm going to do, because one is going to be exercise and one is going to be diet. And I'll do a video on all those things. I'll kind of tell you, maybe in a couple days, I'll do one on exercise, what I've done the last 2 days in the way of exercise. What am I increasing? How am I increasing it? A lot of people say, well, I just don't have time to do this. And that's probably not true. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. But there are times that you can work out. Did you watch television? Oh yeah, I did. I watched television. I'm not saying don't watch television. I have the television on in the back right here. It's something about that explorer guy. He wears a hat and he has a beard. I can't remember his name. He's an anthropologist or something, and he's got a doctor's degree in this and that. And he goes underwater and he has all this stuff and expedition something. He has a new show where they talk. They always, I guess, I don't know, writer strike, I don't know, but they always try to put another show like Shark Tank after the tank. What happened here? They always do those multiple things, try to extend it out. The All in the Family, the Jeffersons, Maude, whatever. They always try to pull something off of a success. I don't know how good this show is. I haven't really been watching it, but television. Let's say you're going to watch 2 hours of television. 2 hours of television. Let me tell you, there's probably in 2 hours of television, there's probably 30 minutes of commercials. So if you just walk the commercials, just get up and walk in place. Ooh, there's a commercial. And sometimes you'll forget. I forget. Oh, I'm supposed to be walking. And you don't have to run. You don't have to jog, but check with your doctors. Check with the same disclaimer I always do. You got to check to make sure it's okay to do those things. But what I would do this is I'd watch a little television and then I would get up and I'd walk in place. Boop, 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 boop. And then the commercial over. Sit down. For the first minute, the show's back on, then I'd be okay. Then commercials again. Boop, 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 boop. And you'd be surprised. You can get thousands and thousands of steps. My goal right now, since I have this issue right now, I want to pull those steps up a little bit. I'll discuss that in the exercise one. I almost jumped the gun. Can you say gun? Are you allowed to say gun? I jumped the broom. No, you can't say broom. That's, I don't know. I jumped something. I jumped ahead. Okay, I jumped ahead. But yeah, so there is time that you have time to do it. If you look at your whole day, what did I do? Well, I slept 10 hours. 10 hours. What if you sleep 8 hours? And then when you wake up, get up, maybe have a cup of coffee, maybe brush your teeth, whatever, throw some clothes on and just go walk. So instead of sleeping 10 hours, I'm going to sleep 8 hours, and I'm going to go and do a 30-minute brisk walk in the morning. Then I'll do a 30-minute walk in the afternoon, and then maybe a 30-minute walk at night, and that's enough. You'll get a lot of steps that way if you're actually walking those times. They're saying 15 minutes of exercise a day, 3 or 4 days a week. Some people are saying get 5,000 steps a day, 5 days a week, get 10,000 steps 3 days a week. If you go out and do the 30-minute thing, you're going to you'll probably get about 10,000 steps if you walk at a good pace. Not running, not doing that, not walking too fast or whatever. You probably get that. But yeah, there's many different ways you can pull time out. Okay, wait a minute. I have no time to exercise, but I slept 10 hours. Sleep 8. You know, kind of have no time to exercise, but I worked on my computer. I was looking at cat videos, and I was sending out little videos of cute kittens on the internet for 4 hours today. 4 hours. Wow. What if I do use a computer? And when I use a computer, every 20 minutes, I stand up and I walk in place for 2 minutes. I always say you should look away to help your eyes. I can't remember what the time is. They say if you're using the computer, always like look away for a certain number of seconds and look back. I do that throughout the usually I'm like, you know, thinking about something. What was that I was thinking about? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll look away. Oh yeah, look away at the same time. But there's different ways to do this, and if you want me to help you with that, please write down in the comments. Tell me, hey, yeah, that'd be good. How do you find the time? But if I am using the computer and the channel, or maybe I'm doing my taxes or submitting for work as an actor, for me, the acting work I do is not hard. I always say the hard part is getting someone to trust me to do that acting work. So that means I have to go out and submit, and they don't wait for me. You know, like I always said, if I was Tom Cruise and they said, hey, Tom, would you like to be on this new movie we have? Let me get back to you in a month. They'll wait. If with me, they'll say, hey, David, we need you on a movie in 3 days. Let me know. And I let her know 10 minutes later, oh, I'm sorry, we already filled that. It could be that fast. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. It could be, let me know right this minute. It might not even be a rush call. It might be something that films a week from now, 2 weeks from now, but they want to just fill it up. They fill it up with the small stuff. They might need 100 background people, 5 or 6 people like me that might get a line or two, and it's got like an under 5 or something, or maybe some kind of a guest spot, or they have supporting roles. They have a million different day player. You go, oh, they're like solely for like 1 day. They need that now, because they're going to be someone else is in negotiations with the stars, but with me, they need that pow, 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 pow right now, immediately, or they go to the next guy. Oh, I'm sorry, David. I wrote to you. I waited 2 minutes, and I wrote to 5 other guys. One guy wrote me back, and I've already replaced you. And that all happens within 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. That's how fast it is. So I will go with that. So this is a series, 3-part. It's a 3-part series. The first one we've really done on this. There are some playlists now there, but they're not really a planned series. It just kind of happened that way. This is actually a planned series. I'll do a 3-parter. And the next video, I'll do the first one. Then I'll announce the second one. Then the second one, I'll announce the third one. And then maybe we'll do a wrap-up. Thank you very much. Have a great week, everybody. Hopefully your journey is going better than mine, because I messed up. I did mess up. But if you mess up, it's okay. I put videos back there about when I do mess up. I don't have a cheat day. I don't have a reward day. I just have days, and I actually allow myself. And I knew what's happening. I knew my numbers, because I was checking my numbers. Like, oh, they're going a little bit high, a little bit high, a little bit high, and 2 points here, a point here, down 3, up. You know, and weight, same thing. If you weigh yourself every day, you're gonna find, hey man, I weighed 300 pounds today. Oh, I weighed 250. You know, I weigh 300 pounds when I start. I get down to 250. Yeah, down to 250. Woo! I lost 50 pounds. And then you go to 256. Oh, no, 256. And the next day, 253. Then 250. If you weigh every day, you're going to probably drive yourself nuts. I noticed that before. Just for me, twice a month, the 1st and 15th. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.